Now, here in Brussels, we marked 75 years to the day since the founding of the NATO alliance. We had our first ministerial meeting with Sweden at the table, a full ally. There are now 32 members of the NATO alliance. And that alliance has continued to adapt, to meet challenges, to meet threats as they've emerged. So while we focused on celebrating the fact that we've hit the 75-year mark, we're intensely focused on the future. We discussed concrete outcomes for the upcoming Washington summit in July, including increasing our support for Ukraine, strengthening NATO's deterrence and defense posture, in particular through boosting our defense industrial bases on both sides of the Atlantic, and deepening cooperation with partners, including from the Indo-Pacific. We also held our second NATO-Ukraine Council. We reaffirmed that Ukraine's future is in NATO. Our goal now is to create a bridge to Ukraine's full membership, offering additional support and greater cooperation as Ukraine makes the reforms necessary to join the alliance. Ukraine has made some remarkable progress in recent months. It pushed Russia's fleet back from the Black Sea, opening up shipping lanes to get grain to the world. And in fact, exports through the Black Sea now equal or exceed exports before the Russian aggression in February 2022. Ukraine is attracting more and more private investment, and it is valiantly holding ground on the battlefield in the face of an ongoing Russian onslaught. It's also making progress on governance and security reforms, which we discussed in our meetings today, including boosting resources for its anti-corruption institutions, increasing transparency and accountability for the military assistance that we're all providing to Ukraine. And I think this progress shows that Ukraine is taking our recommendations, the recommendations of all allies, seriously, doing the hard work to meet NATO's high standards. But we also know this: more aid is urgently needed for Ukraine. We heard directly today from Foreign Minister Kuleba. Every day without further assistance puts Ukraine's defenders and its civilians in greater peril. Our support is especially important as a number of countries are helping Russia build up its defense industrial base and continue to perpetrate its aggression on Ukraine. China continues to provide materials to support Russia's defense industrial base. The DPRK and Iran also providing support. And all of this is fueling Putin's war machine as he attacks Ukrainians and threatens European security. The United States has to do its part. Allies have been stepping up. They've been shouldering their share of the responsibility. There was just a few weeks ago announced another 50 billion euros in additional EU funding. They're making unprecedented investments in their own defense industrial bases. And we have now 2/3 of the allies who are meeting the Wales Pledge of dedicating 2% of GDP to defense. So more than ever, we have genuine burden sharing among the allies. And in the 30 or so years that I've been engaged in these issues, this is probably the best example of burden sharing that I've seen. The United States has made tremendous contributions ourselves, but it is imperative that Congress pass the supplementary budget request that President Biden has made. I know that Speaker Johnson committed to bring the supplemental to a vote swiftly. The message from Brussels is clear. That vote cannot happen soon enough. I also heard this from ally after ally. Our commitment, our engagement is indispensable for this alliance. I also heard the profound impact it would have on global security if the United States were in any way to back away from its commitments. I agree with that. And that's also a message that I intend to take back with me to the United States and to our Congress.